All right. Once again, good morning and welcome. USA Wager Sports Brief. I am your host, Rodney Knuppel. Let's rock and roll a little sports today. It is the third day of the U.S. Open, and we've got two leaders at the top. Who and who? Who and who are at the top of the U.S. Open? Richard Bland and Russell Henley. I've heard a little bit of Russell Henley. He's been around a little bit. Richard Bland, obviously been around a while, but has not been in contention like this. They are 5 under. Their tee times are going to be 1:35 local time. So here in the central time zone, somewhere around 3:30. But the question is, where are the big dogs? Where are the big dogs in this tournament? And let's go over some of the big names and see where they are at. Obviously, Louis Oosthuizen and Matthew Wolff are just behind at -4. Bubba Watson, John Rahm are just 2 off at -3. Xander Schauffele comes in at -2. We got a whole bunch of guys at even. You got Justin Thomas. You've got Colin Moriarty. You got Brooks Koepka. You got all sorts of guys at even. Rory McIlroy's +1. Dustin Johnson and Phil Mickelson are +2. Jordan Spieth just made the cut at 4 over. So those are some of the big dogs in it. Now, you know, Jordan Spieth then at +4 is 10 strokes back. So if this was like the old Masters rules, he still would get an opportunity to reach the final 2 days. Obviously, the cuts were 71 guys. 71 guys made the cut. So a few guys are already in action. Jimmy Walker made the cut. He's already 2 over on the day with the double bogey. So right now he is in 71st place. Just 2 or 3 guys out on the course right now as the U.S. Open Day 3 is here. And that's kind of a look at I would say the biggest news in sports, although, you know, probably the most watched would be those playoff games in the NBA. And let's talk about those. Philadelphia did reach a Game 7 with their win. Kind of turned the tables a little bit as Atlanta came from way back in Game 5. Philadelphia was able to come from behind, not terribly behind, but we're able to come from behind. Joel Embiid with 22 and 13. Kind of the big news with Seth Curry and Tobias Harris both scoring 24 for Philadelphia. Atlanta was up 4 at half. Philadelphia took control of the second half, won by 5, did cover the spread. Now we've got a Game 7. In fact, we got 2 Game 7s remaining in the NBA. One will be tonight. One will be tomorrow, as tomorrow will be 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time as the Hawks are at Philadelphia for Game 7. Winner moves on to take on the winner of tonight's game. Tonight's game, Game 7 in Brooklyn, as the Nets and the Bucks. Should be a good one there. The Nets are now -1.5 with a total of 215.5. Game 7. You know, question marks on a couple of the big 3 with Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and of course Kevin Durant after his massive Game 5 will be playing. But does Milwaukee have an answer defensively? That's certainly going to be the biggest question. Game 7 from Brooklyn. The winner, of course, will take on the winner of Philadelphia and Atlanta. So 2 Game 7s in the East. Moving back to the West last night, the Los Angeles Clippers stunned the Utah Jazz. Clippers are hot right now. They scored 131 points, including 81 second-half points. Utah led by 22 points at half. Could not score in the second half as the Clippers took complete control. Terrence Mann with a game-high 39 points in the game. He was outstanding. The Clippers have moved to the Final Four of the NBA without Kawhi Leonard. So kudos there. The Clippers get the Suns. That'll be tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. Central Time. So 12:30 out there in the desert for the Clippers and the Suns. Not a ton of travel there, LA, Phoenix, not a terrible back and forth. So certainly be a good series. That'll be started tomorrow at CP3 when he plays. We know the headlines there. So Clippers, Suns should be a good one. They'll get going tomorrow. Like we said, Game 7 in Brooklyn tonight. And that's kind of a look at the NBA with 6 teams remaining in the NBA playoffs. All right, let's move to the ice where Montreal stunned the Canadiens, but you won again. Under 5.5. Vegas keeps putting 5.5 as the total. We just keep taking it and just keep winning it 3 straight as these two teams don't put up a ton of goals. 3-2 Canadiens with the win, and the Canadiens now 2 wins away from heading to the Stanley Cup Finals as they get a home game tomorrow to obviously put a stranglehold on Vegas and go up 3-1. But Canadiens used 43 saves from their goaltender, Carey Price. He was outstanding. Josh Anderson with 2 goals, including the game winner. But really, that goal came down to a misplay by Marc-Andre Fleury as he misplayed a puck. And Anderson, all he had to do is tap it into the net. Game 4 tomorrow from Montreal. Tonight on ice, Game 4 from Long Island. And as I mentioned in the last series, this is an opportunity for Tampa to put their stranglehold on this series as they lead 2-1. Opportunity to go up 3-1 with 2 remaining home games. Tampa Bay is minus 130 tonight. I like the Lightning to win this game. In fact, I think I already mentioned I don't think the Islanders win another game in this series. I'll take Tampa Bay to get to the Stanley Cup. All right, that's a look at the National Hockey League for Friday and then today's game on Saturday. Major League Baseball yesterday. Let's run down a few scores. Albies and Contreras both hit home runs. Braves clubbed the Cardinals 9-1. Pittsburgh snapped their 10-game losing streak. They beat the Indians in a wild one, 11-10. Adam Duvall hit a grand slam and also a 2-run homer as the Marlins smashed the Cubs 10-2. Colorado won their 5th straight, which sent Milwaukee to their 5th straight loss as the Rockies beat the Brewers 6-5. San Diego beat the Reds 8-2. Reds have lost both games in that series so far after coming in red hot. Oakland beat the Yankees 5-3. The Nationals scored 1 in the 9th inning and beat the Mets 1-0 in a thriller. Houston beat the White Sox for the 2nd straight day, 2-1. Astros over White Sox. Dodgers blanked the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks stink. They just continue to lose. This one was at home, though, so we can't make fun of the road losing streak today. We can make fun of it, but it did not get extended. And then the Giants are absolutely on fire. 45-25 now. 5-3 winners over the Phillies yesterday. So that's kind of a look at what happened yesterday in Major League Baseball. Looking at today, the Saturday slate, these are all afternoon games. Oakland at the Yankees, Mets at the Nationals. The Marlins are at the Cubs. Jake Arrieta's on the mound for the Cubs. Cleveland's at Pittsburgh. Minnesota's at Texas. Philadelphia with Aaron Nola is on the mound. They'll take on Alex Wood and the Giants. Toronto's at Baltimore. And Boston is at Kansas City. Those are your afternoon games in Major League Baseball. Tonight, Adam Wainwright's on the mound for the Cardinals as they look to win 1 in Atlanta before Sunday Night Baseball. Tomorrow, Mets are at the Nationals for the second part of that doubleheader. Cincinnati remains in San Diego. The White Sox are at Houston. It is and Lance Lynn on the mound for the White Sox, looking to get them back on track. Milwaukee is at Colorado. Austin Gomber's on the mound for Colorado. He's been good, especially at home. Detroit is at the Angels, and the Dodgers will have Walker Buehler at Arizona tonight. So that's a look at your Major League Baseball slate for Saturday. All right, Nashville hosts the team lottery race today in NASCAR. There'll be races today and tomorrow in NASCAR. So if you are a racing fan, Nashville gets that opportunity today. UFC Fight Night's going to go on tonight in Vegas. So get your bets in for that. If you are planning to watch or follow that, get your bets in before they start taking place in Vegas. Once again, Fight Night in Vegas. Friday's WNBA score, the Mercury topped the Sparks 80-66. Tonight's games, 3 games on tap. The Sun are at the Sky. It's got to be like the 3rd straight time these teams have played. I swear this is like the 3rd time I've said this. So the Sun at the Sky. It's WNBA. Fever are at the Mystics. Take the Mystics, whatever that betting line is. Anything 10 or under, take it. Fever stink. And the Lynx are at the Wings. Okay, and that's a look at your Saturday WNBA. A whole bunch of MLS. So it was 2 games last night, MLS. Let me grab those scores for you real quick. I forgot to write those 2 down. But MLS was back in action yesterday and have a ton of games today. Yesterday's scores, the New York Red Bulls 2, Nashville 0, Real Salt Lake 3, Vancouver 1. All right, today's MLS starting at 6:30 Central Time. Columbus is at Chicago. FC Cincinnati's at Colorado. New York City is at New England, and Toronto is at Orlando. 7 o'clock, DC United is at Inter Miami. 7:30, FC Dallas takes on Minnesota. And the final 4 games tonight in the MLS: Austin, Texas, at San Jose. LA Galaxy's at Seattle. Portland's at Sporting Kansas City. And LAFC is at Houston. And that is a look at your MLS action for Saturday. All right, I hope that was the best 10 minutes of your sports day. Today, I hope not. I hope there's much more in the world of sports besides this that you enjoy today. U.S. Open going on, tons of baseball. We got NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, MMA, WNBA, NASCAR going on, all sorts of things going on. So make sure you stay tuned right here to the Sports 2.0 Network, including us here at USA Wager. I'm your host, Rodney Knuppel. So long for just a while. We'll see everybody tomorrow right here, 9:30 a.m. Central Time. So long.